Hello everybody, welcome to CIS277. This is Bob Hendry and today's class is Thursday the 19th, pardon me, my fault, I'm rushing things a little bit, the 14th of November 2019, so welcome to class. Now just a few things about, just a few class announcements. Remember, in case you didn't get the memo, we have Thanksgiving coming up. Now Thanksgiving falls on a Thursday every year, and guess what else falls on a Thursday? Our class. Our class falls on a Thursday. So there's no school on Thursday on Thanksgiving, but you guys probably already know that. Now, that doesn't really affect us too much because most of us don't come to class on a regular basis. Most of us take advantage of taking the course or most of the course online. So, you know, we don't really. That doesn't really affect us, so don't worry too much about like me not being available that week. If you need me available, keep working on your assignments. I'll still be around, and everything will be fine. Now, other than that, we're almost through the semester. We only have one assignment left. That's assignment number 11, and assignment number 11 is a assignment on VB script and PowerShell, which are the two scripting language we haven't covered yet. So far we've covered what? We've covered Oracle, PL SQL, we've covered Java, right? We've covered Python, we've covered Ruby. So now we're going to move on and we're going to cover, like I said, PowerShell and VB script. And along the way, we learned a lot of other things such as virtualization, you know, spinning up virtual servers, things like that, which is important stuff, I think, with especially with cloud computing and scripting. So we're getting a lot done this semester. I kind of was looking at some of the material that we've went over so far and what we have left to do. And we've done a lot. We really have. Remember I told you at the beginning of the semester, it doesn't seem like we do like a whole bunch on a week-by-week basis, but if you add it all up, it's just a ton of stuff. I mean, we covered a lot of languages, a lot to do with cloud computing. Hopefully you've learned a couple cool things along the way, like for example with coding, you know, with Coding Ground, which I think is just an awesome tool just to learn a bunch of different stuff without signing up for anything or downloading anything. I think that was kind of cool. This is the first semester that I really used that extensively throughout the quarter and or the semester, and I think it worked out well. I really do. I mean, just from a professor instructor standpoint, the fact that we could go from language to language week by week and not go over the whole installation process and getting this to work on a Mac as opposed to a PC and blah 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 blah. It's just awesome. It really is. So for those of you that don't remember the old days, you're not really. There's nothing really to remember. It's Coding Ground. I think is really cool, and I think it really fit the bill for what we were doing. So anyway, please get your assignments into me. That's one drawback I think about, you know, my policy in not keeping hard deadlines, meaning if you need more time, you take it, because if you're like me, you'll take all the time you want because you want it to be perfect. I'll look at this next week. And you never get to done. Let me just give you a few little tidbits about that as far as I'm concerned. You got to turn it in. If it's not working perfectly and you get a 4 out of 5, fine, get a 4 out of 5. If you're struggling with it and you get a 2 out of 5 or a 3 out of 5, take the 2 out of 5, take the 3 out of 5. Don't take the 0. Zeros kill you. Don't whiff on an assignment. If you put your name on it and try it and it doesn't get to work, you're a 1 out of 5. If you basically have it almost working, you get like a 4 out of 5. If you're kind of in the middle, you're a 2 out of 5 or a 3 out of 5. Now remember, there's 11 assignments, 13 if you include the midterm and the final that you're graded on. So if you get a 2 or 3 out of 5 on a few assignments, that's not going to really kill you. It's not going to hurt you. You might not get your A if you get too many of those, but you'll certainly pass. You know, so don't worry about getting 5 out of 5 on everything. You know, don't worry about it, because especially, you know, if you don't turn something in, those add up. Like if you don't turn in 3 assignments or 4 assignments because you can't figure them out and you get 0 out of 5 on those, that's the difference between an A and a C or a B and a D. depending on how you do the numbers. So please turn that stuff in and don't wait till the last minute. If you need help, I can take a look at it. It's worth me taking a look at. Remember, even if I'm not there in front of you in class, that doesn't mean I can't help you on it. As a matter of fact, from what you guys have been figuring out, I rarely spend time in class anyway on your homework because there's just no time. I mean, we're usually working on new things, right? So it's hard for me to say, oh, okay, well, we're not going to work on new things. We're just going to work on homework. I mean, I do that, later in the evening when we do like open class time, like from 9 o'clock on, but usually most of you are gone by then anyway. So most of the time I spend helping you guys with your homework is remotely anyway. Please take advantage of that and don't wait till the 1st of December to do so. Okay, so that's that. So we're at in the semester, talked about Thanksgiving, talked about Thanksgiving week really doesn't affect us much because, like I said, I'll probably still post something, although it's a moot point because I'm posting assignment 11 today. It's going to be it's going to be posted today for you. So that's the last assignment. So, Thanksgiving week, I'm just going to kind of go over, some more VB script and some more PowerShell just so you can get your assignment done. So, we're in good shape. We have 1 month to go in the class and there's one assignment pending. Remember I told you guys at the beginning of class that I like to plan for soft landings, meaning I don't like a lot of drama for you guys at the end where all of a sudden in the middle of November I sign a bunch of stuff. No, it doesn't work that way. The stuff's already assigned. We have a month to finish it up, a month to learn some new stuff without a whole bunch of pressure on what do we got to get done, what do we got to get done. Are you responsible for what you're learning? Sure you are. You have one assignment to do, but you don't got like 50. You're just catching up. So I think we're all in good shape, but if you're kind of still, like doing 6, 7, and 8, you're probably, believe it or not, about where everyone else is. I think there's only a handful of people that you know who you are, that are really up to date and have everything done. Just about everyone is kind of balancing their workload out and getting it done as soon as they can. All right, so that is that. Starting this week again, we're going to start with some PowerShell and some VB script. That's going to be it as far as our scripting language. That gives us like a total of like 5 or 6. It's a lot. Then we have our final exam. Pardon me, yawning here. Should have a yawn or a cough button for my microphone. Now for our final is going to be just like our midterm. It's going to be electronic. I'm going to give you the link to it just like I did the rest of the assignments. As a matter of fact, the final is going to look like an assignment. I'll give you, the link for the final, or if you're in class, I'll give you a hard copy of it. Again, it depends on you. If you want to come to class and do it, you certainly can. Let me know. If not, you're just going to get the link, and then you could do it that way. And you'll have, it'll be the deadline on it, too. Oh, one last thing about the final. And this is really important. You're going to hear this from me over the next few weeks or so, now that we're kind of wrapping it up the next few weeks of the semester, is the deadlines I'm going to give you for turning in your lab assignments and turning in your final are written in stone, real fences. They're not wooden fences. Sometimes I call it a wooden fence, which means, we could take it down and move it. They're hard deadlines. We can't move it. So when you see the final and you see the due date on the final, I'm not going to say what the due date is because I don't know it off the top of my head, and if I say it, it might get stuck in your head. But look at the top of the final. There's going to be a due date on there. You're going to have a week to do it, just like the rest of the assignments. It's got to be in by that date. If it is not in by that date, I have to give you a 0 for the final. I don't like doing that. Don't make me be a bad guy. I don't want to give you a 0 for the final. But if it's not in, it's a school deadline, I got to give you an F and a 0 for that final. Now what you're saying, some of you are raising your hand and say, okay, Bob, well, what about if I just give it to you a little bit later and I get an incomplete for the course? Let's talk about that. You don't want an incomplete. Let me tell you why. If you get an incomplete, it's possible. Let me say, just throw that out there, but I want you to listen to this. Just because it's possible doesn't mean it's really a viable option for you. And let me explain to you why. If I give you an incomplete, right, what happens is I got to do a bunch of paperwork. Still don't got a problem. It's part of my work, right? I do a bunch of paperwork. It's got to be signed by my dean. Then it's got to be assigned by the department coordinator. Then it goes to the registrar's office, where the registrar looks at it and determines if it's an incomplete or not. It usually is. They'll look at it and say, okay, Sally gets an incomplete for this semester. So this is how this works. So now, if your name is Sally, I don't have any Sallys in the course, you just can't come to me and say, oh, okay, well, here's my final, here's the rest of my work, remove the incomplete. It doesn't move that fast. I know you guys are used to that with me so far, but let's just talk to Bob, and we'll see what we could do and get the grade moved over, or we could, I don't know, get some extra time for this. Incompletes don't work like that. As a matter of fact, once I give you an incomplete, it's basically out of my hands. So in this scenario, you give me the final, you give me your work in the middle of December. It was busy. Here it is. Gives me the middle of December. Great. I accept your work. I grade your work. I grade your test. And I say, okay, based on the work you've given me, you'll get an 85, a B for the semester, or a 79C, or a 94A. Depends, right? There's really no penalty for an incomplete. It just gets removed. But, here, listen to the whole story. I have to submit all this and go through that whole paperwork chain. And I'm not part of this paperwork chain anymore. What I do is I fill out a form and I say Sally's done her work and she's earned a 94 in CIS277. At that point, it's done. So now you're calling me, Bob, when's it going to be removed? I went to the portal. It's still there. And I'm like, I have no idea, because it could take 1 week. It's taken as long as months to be removed, because it winds up on someone else's desk. They have to sign stuff. It can go fairly quickly, but it usually takes a little bit. So if you need that incomplete removed quickly, for, I don't know, let's say the transfer to another school or to get reimbursed by your employer, it might take a while, and there's nothing I can really do except just to do the same things you do. Make a couple calls. What's taking so long? Anyway, that's all I have to say about incompletes. Please don't think that's really a viable option for you, because that's only in emergencies, and it can be a pain in the butt as far as you're concerned. All right, one more thing. In about a week or so, I'm going to be reaching out to you about missed assignments and things of that nature. So if I reach out to you, please don't take it as a hostile email. You know me. I'm a nice guy, and I know emails sound a little harsher than they really are. I'm just reaching out to you saying these are the things I don't got from you, all right? Here's the thing about that. If I say I didn't get exercise 7 and 8, and you turned it in, fine, Bob, I turned it in. Please I'll dig through it. Maybe it got eaten by my email machine, right? Happens all the time. I give you the benefit of the doubt. If you say you turned it in, I believe you. You turned it in. So we'll figure it out. Don't panic. Don't lose any sleep over it. If I say, hey, I'm missing your midterm, don't miss sleep that weekend. We'll talk about it. We'll find it. We'll figure it out. You will not get penalized for it. Like I said, I always give you guys the benefit of the doubt. If you say you did it, you turned it in. As far as I'm concerned, you did it and you turned it in, because you are people of honesty and integrity, and we will figure out where it is, and then we'll take it from there. So don't panic. I just want to make sure you're in the best position possible for that. I think that's it. A lot of stuff going on with the classes I'd mentioned. And like I said, we got, as far as the material goes, we got some cool stuff coming up for you. We got some PowerShell. I said PowerScript. PowerShell coming up. Exciting topic for me. All these are exciting topics for me because I'm a coder. And we have some VB script coming up as well. So thank you for your attention. And thank you for your continuing support in CIS277. Now it's time to start looking at your assignment again. You can start looking at assignment 11 if you like. But like I said, most of the material is going to be over the next couple of weeks or so. And then you could start definitely looking at your assignment and doing your viewing and your reading, so we can learn all about the really cool world of PowerShell and VB script. So thank you all, and I bid you all a very nice, restful, great rest of the day. Hopefully your day is full of caffeine and easygoing people. Have a great day, folks. Thank you. Bye-bye.